having a good day. This is Siva Jagadish Kumar, Assistant Professor, Department of Textile Technology, Vignan University. Today, we are going to discuss the second class of Apparel Costing and Export Documentation, Unit 1. In this session, we are going to discuss about the classification of costs. Cost itself is very important thing as it is related to the money. Money is the prime most important thing for any of the organization. And it is very important to classify the cost so that in terms of the cost management, it will be a prominent for understanding which division or which type of jobs the management should take. It will be a very much value addition for the management. So let us dig into this classification of cost. The classification of cost can be basis into 7 different types, as like in this slide. Okay. The first one is by the nature or element of the cost. The second one is based on the functions of the cost. And the third one is based on the identifiability of the cost. And the fourth one is variability, like fixed cost, variable cost, semi-variable cost, stepped cost, something. Then by means of the controllability, means whether we can control it or uncontrollable cost. Then normality, means normal cost, abnormal cost, and various other costs. Cost. There are various types of costs in terms of the manufacturing industries. Let us see in detail about these various types of costs in this session. Okay. So, what is cost and what is price? I hope you are already aware of this. Cost is nothing but the amount of actual expenditure incurred in manufacturing of a product or a service is the cost. And whereas the price is along with the cost and markup of the manufacturer or service provider is referred as price. Okay. So, cost may be generally lower than the price, but it is not mandatory. Sometimes we need to sell the goods even at the lower price than the actual cost of the product. Maybe in order to avoid the inventory cost or various other reasons like end of season sales. These are one of the examples for this. So, these are the 7 different categories of costing by means of nature, by means of function, by means of ability to identifiability, then variability, controllability, normality, and other costs. Okay. Let us see by nature or element of the cost. So the cost can be classified into 3 types. Either by means of the nature or element of the cost. Like whether it can be a material cost, or it can be a labor cost, or it can be a expenses. Okay. Materials, labor, expenses. What is the meaning of this thing? Yeah, we will dig into the example. Okay. Now, the material cost is nothing but the cost of material used for the manufacture of a product, a particular work order or provision or service. Okay. Example. In order to manufacture garments, we will be producing or we will be procuring various types of fabrics, linings, interlinings, buttons, zippers. All these things comes under the material cost. Okay. Like any of the material, if you are purchasing the material, then it is a material cost. Okay. If any of the material is being purchased for producing or to provide service to certain segment, it will be a material cost. Okay. Then the labor cost is nothing but the wages paid or the compensations given or the salary paid for the human efforts. Okay. For the human efforts. So, for conversion of materials into finished goods, the human efforts are needed. Such human effort is called labor. Okay, all the human efforts, that may be direct, indirect, anything, that will be the further classification, that also we will see. But labor can be as well as direct or indirect. Okay, we will see what is direct and indirect costs also in this category. So basically, labor cost is nothing but for the human resources, whatever the human effort which are given. Okay, so that compensation which is given is nothing but the labor cost. Then expenses, which are defined as the money expended or cost incurred in a firm's efforts to generate revenue representing cost of doing business. This may be in the form of actual business or actual cash payments, or sometimes the depreciation cost also. Okay, maybe we have purchased a sewing machine, each one is 40,000 rupees. Similarly, we have purchased 100 machines. Okay, so what happens? All these things is the initial investment. Okay, but by considering maybe 10 years is the lifespan, so what happens? The total cost out of it, every year 10% will be the depreciation. All those things are nothing but our expenses. Okay, so all costs are not expenses, but some costs like wages, salaries, depreciations, okay, which are out of an asset, are sometimes a bad debts. Bad debts means maybe we have given credit to some of the buyer. So what happens? The entire buyer is closed. Okay, so sometimes we could call it as a bad debt. Okay, even as like there are many Indian firms which are reporting bad debt nowadays, like Kingfisher and Modi. In terms of, like, similarly there are Modi means not the Prime Minister Modi, the Nirav Modi, or there are many scams or other things which are kept in. So what happens? You have taken a loan from a bank. If you are unable to pay back, so what happens after certain time and all, the bank is able to sell the goods which are taken as a collateral. If the bank is in minus position, it will be reported as a bad debt. Okay, so all these bad debts also will be considered as expenses in terms of the manufacture. Okay, so we have seen material, labor, and expenses. Okay, so then the second function is by means of the cost is divided based on the functions. Cost is divided or classified based on the functions. Okay, so we can classify it into 9 different functions. Okay, one is production cost, selling cost, distribution cost, administrative cost, research cost, development cost, pre-production cost, conversion cost, then the 9th one, product cost. Okay. So this classification is based on the functions of the cost. We will see each one in detail. Okay. Say production cost. So the cost of sequence of operation which begins with supplying material, labor and services, etc. So whatever the costs which are incurred in order to produce something, this is referred as production cost. Okay. So it includes cost of direct material, direct labor and direct expenses and factory overheads. Okay, factory overheads. All the direct expenses and factory overheads will be covered under the production cost. Production cost. Say, this will not include the transportation cost, distribution costs, marketing costs or any other expenses. Okay. The whole production costs will be taken into consideration for the production cost. So this is one. Second one is selling cost. The cost incurred in selling, or in easy way you can call it as a marketing expenses. marketing expenses. That may be gift cards or maybe gifts to the customers or advertisement cost or sometimes a discount cost. The discounts which are given in case like a bulk discounts and all. Those things are also comes under the selling cost. Okay, selling cost. Yeah. Selling cost is something which can be sometimes much higher than the actual production cost also, depending upon the product. Okay. So the high brands like high fashion or high chic brands and that. So whereas the distribution and the selling cost or the marketing costs are quite higher than the actual costs which are incurred. Then the distribution cost. The cost of the sequence of operation which begins with making and packed product available for dispatch. The transportation, then octroi tax and driver beta, all those things, everything which comes under the transportation or the logistics cost. This comes under the distribution cost. It also includes expenditure in terms of the central or local storages during the moving of these articles, and sometimes there may be a returns also. During the returns also the transportation cost also will be very, very high. All these things comes under the distribution cost. Okay. So can you think of any example in case of a distribution cost? Maybe you have purchased a pen in Amazon. Okay. So actual cost may be 60 rupees, but in order to transport from Delhi to here, the distribution or the transportation cost also may be 60 rupees. Understand? So what happens altogether? The cost may be 120 rupees. So obviously by adding the markup and all, you need to keep somewhere around 130 or 150 rupees in between as a price of this product. Then only he will make certain money out of it. Otherwise, it will be a loss for the manufacturer or the person who is selling it. Okay. The distribution cost or the transportation cost is quite important to consider while costing. Then the administrative cost. So the cost of formulating the policy, directing the organization and controlling the operations and very big CEO level people will be there. Even though the number of people who are there in this management sector may be quite less, but what happens, the wages or the remunerations which are going to be paid for these people, the top management people, will be quite high. That itself will put a huge cost in terms of the administrative cost. Okay, like maybe HR or marketing, all the managers, CEOs, managing directors' salary, the board of management category kind of people's salaries and all will comes under the administrative costs, and the entire payroll department or the HR department costs also will generally comes under the administrative costs. Then the costs which are incurred for research. Okay, whatever you are producing, you need to invest some money and do some sort of research in order to produce a better quality at cheaper prices. Okay, so in order to do this and be competitive, all the manufacturing industries must invest some amount of money in terms of the research. Okay, so it may be as low as 2 to 3% or as high as 30-40%. If you consider companies like Tesla and all, they will invest very huge in terms of the research cost. Okay, but if you consider which produces a staple products and all, like maybe a Indian Oil or which is established in a specific sector and all, may invest less amount in terms of the R&D comparatively the budget wise as a percentage. Okay, but all the organizations will spend some amount in terms of the research cost. So the cost of research for new or improved products, new applications of materials or improved methods comes under the research cost. Similarly, the development cost. In order to produce a new or improved products, sometimes what happens, the development costs will come into picture. So many of the textile institutes or industries also will have an R&D department, research and development department, or sometimes they are also called as PD, product development team. Okay, so these teams, what happens, high IQ or intelligent people will be selected for these jobs. And then what happens is they will understand the market and where is the potential and what are the various ways we can implement in such a way that our products are much better and cheaper than the competitors, so that we can benchmark or we can gather more number of orders such that our company will be in much more safer in position and lucrative in terms of the business. Okay, so that's why we'll be requiring certain amount of budget or some costs which are given for the research cost and development cost. Okay, research cost and development cost. It may not be quite high. It may be only 2% of the entire revenue which will be going on, or sometimes it may be even much lesser than this one also, isn't it? Then the pre-production cost. Sometimes whatever the products which are there, okay, so we cannot directly go for the bulk production. Okay, whatever the order which is given, we cannot go for it. First of all, we will be as a garment industry and all, we need to produce so many different types of samples, like proto sample, top of production sample, size set sample, gold seal samples. Okay, or sometimes even desk looms need to be created, and there are various other pre-production costs which are going to be incurred. And in this case, what happens here, before it comes to the formal product and all, this pre-production costs will come into the picture. Okay, so are we clear what is pre-production cost? The costs incurred before the actual bulk production takes place. So that will be a pre-production cost. It is like a for the trial production, to run preliminary to create the finalized the formal product. That is pre-production cost. Then the conversion cost. We have given the raw material. So from the raw material, in order to make the final product, what will be the conversion cost? So generally the conversion cost is the aggregate of direct wages and direct expenses and overhead cost in terms of the factory stage. So generally the conversion cost is equal to the direct wages plus factory overheads. It is referred as the conversion cost. In some of the cases, it also includes any excess material cost or loss of material incurred at a particular stage of production. That also will be referred as a conversion cost. Means in order to convert the material from one stage to the final product, all the expenses incurred in this stage are referred as conversion cost. Okay. Next is the product cost. These are the inventoriable costs. These are the costs which are assigned to the product. Under marginal costing, variable manufacturing cost, and under absorption costing, total manufacturing cost will become under the product cost. So what is the cost of a specific product is referred as the product cost. Okay. Then this is the second category of the costing. Then the third category is by means of the identifiability of the cost, whether it may be a direct cost or indirect cost. Whenever you can track a specific cost to each product or service is being produced, then it can be considered as a direct cost. When you cannot bifurcate the cost per product, okay, it will be a indirect cost. Say, let us take an example. Say we are producing shirts. Okay. So each shirt, the consumption of fabric is say 1.6 meter at 60 inches width. Okay. So what happens if we are producing 100 garments? So we will be requiring 160 meters of fabric. Okay. So what we can do? We can assign per product how much fabric is required, isn't it? So it will be a direct material cost. Okay. This example I hope you got it. Then an example for an indirect cost. Say the needles which you are purchasing in order to sew in the garment machines. So what happens? Can you divide the cost of needle per garment? It is difficult, right? Okay. Similarly, you need a lubrication oil for the machines, which are mandatory. Okay. But can you identify the cost of lubricating oil per garment? We cannot divide this cost on garment basis or product basis per a unit. Okay. Those costs are referred as indirect costs. Those costs are referred as indirect costs. Say the cost of fabric, the cost of button, the cost of interlining, the cost of care label, the cost of packing materials, everything can be traced back per unit cost. Those are nothing but the direct costs. Indirect costs cannot be traced back per unit. Those are the indirect costs. Okay. So in terms of material, we have taken example. Similarly, an operator is there, which she produces 1,000 pieces, maybe a small tacking operation, 1,000 pieces in one day. Maybe she is earning 200 rupees per day, just for example. So per operation cost would be approximately, you can track 1,000 pieces and 200 rupees. 1,000 pieces and 200 rupees. That means 100 pieces, 20 rupees. 10 pieces, 2 rupees. Okay. So per piece is 20 paisa is that operation. So you can track it down. So this operator wages will come under direct wages. Okay. Similarly, you have a foreman, a mechanical foreman. So whenever a problem which comes for the machine troubling and all, so in that case and all, this foreman and the mechanical team will come into the picture. So can you track his salary per garment basis? It is quite, it is difficult and we cannot segregate in that way, right? So the cost of maybe foremen or security or sweepers, all these things will comes under the indirect wages. Direct material, indirect material. Okay. Direct labor, indirect labor. Similarly, direct expenses, indirect expenses. I hope you understood. Yes. So, the direct cost, the expenses on material and labor, economically and easily traceable to a product. Per product, what is the cost? Or service or job are considered as direct cost, which can be economically easily traceable per product or per service. These are referred as the direct cost. Okay. So in the process, manufacture or production of articles, materials are purchased, laborers are employed and wages are paid to them. Certain other expenses also which can be traced back per garment are referred as direct cost. Say maybe the amount of meat per burger can be identified easily, right? So the cost of meat in a burger will come under the direct cost. Okay. The indirect cost is we cannot make them into certain specific garments or specific products. So salaries of timekeepers like HR department, storekeepers, foremen, and certain expenses for running the administrations, are these expenses we cannot differentiate to specific one. Those are nothing but the indirect costs. Those are nothing but the indirect costs. Okay. So direct costs and indirect costs. Okay. I hope you got the difference between these two. Okay. Then the third classification of cost based on the variability, whether it is a fixed cost, whether it is a variable cost, whether it is a semi-variable cost or step cost. What is the, can you come up with an example? Fixed cost. So in order to run the garment industry, I have taken a shed for rent. Okay. Even if I produce one garment or I produce 1 lakh garment, I need to pay the rent as same. Isn't it? that is nothing but the fixed cost. That is nothing but the fixed cost per hour, isn't it? Yeah. Let us see what is fixed cost, variable cost, semi-variable cost and step cost. So, irrespective of the production, if the cost remains same as like in this chart, okay, irrespective of the production, if the cost remains same, it is referred as the fixed cost. Okay, like rent for a industry, insurance of the factory or building remains same for different levels of production. Even if you produce one garment or 1 lakh garment, the cost is nothing but the same. This is nothing but the fixed cost. Okay, it's quite simple, right? Yeah. Now, even in Corona stage or anywhere also, some costs are fixed. Okay, so those are which cannot be reproducible or which cannot be avoided. Okay, so if you are staying in a rented house, you need to pay rent. Even though you are getting salary or not, somehow you need to pay the rent to your landlord, isn't it? That's a fixed cost. Okay. Suppose you are going on a vacation to some other country, maybe for 1 month or 2 months. So what happens? You need to pay the rent. It will be a fixed cost. But what happens to the power bill? You are not using means obviously you will not pay for it, right? So it will be a variable cost. Depending upon the production or usage, this is going to change. That is referred as variable cost. So as the production is higher, what happens? The cost also will be higher. Like all the direct materials and direct labor comes under variable cost. Money of the indirect materials and indirect labors generally comes under as a fixed cost, but not mandatory. Okay. So cost of material, cost of labor and all comes under the variable cost. Okay. So depending upon the requirement of productivity and all, what happens, you may employ more people or less people, and accordingly the cost is going to be changed. That is nothing but the variable cost. Now sometimes what happens is semi-variable cost will be there. It is semi-fixed. So the cost which does not vary proportionately but simultaneously, means it will not be a linear curve. It may be a curve, not linear. Okay. And sometimes it will be changed over the year and year, like repairs. Okay. So whatever the amount of cost incurred for repairs, can you predict it? You cannot predict it. Okay. Maybe when the machine or the industry, when it is new, maybe first year the repair cost is less. But later on it may be little higher. Later on it may be little higher. It is not linear. Okay. Based on the productivity also, you cannot exactly judge whether it will not follow either the fixed cost or variable cost. This is semi-variable cost. Okay. Like you could take an example of a power bill. Okay. You can take an example of a power bill. So what happens? The general lighting on the corridors or on the roads of an industry and all are the fixed cost. Okay. The power which is given to the machines are variable cost. So what happens, altogether the power bill will be a semi-variable cost. I hope you are understanding. The part of it is fixed and part of it is variable. It is referred as the semi-variable cost or semi-fixed cost. Okay. Understood? The electricity bill for an industry is an example of semi-variable cost. Then there is another thing like stepped cost. So what happens, up to 1 lakh productivity, maybe one manager is sufficient. Okay. So either 20,000 production capacity or 40,000 or maybe 80,000, up to 1 lakh it is same. But if it is above 1 lakh, then what happens, instead of one manager, maybe two managers are. So what happens? So far it will be flat. So once it crosses the productivity, it will be like a step. Understood? It will be like a step. It is referred as stepped cost. It is referred as stepped cost. Then the cost based on the controllability. Controllable cost, uncontrollable cost. So the controllable costs, we can assign some of these costs to a specific person or department, so that that person can assign and control the cost of this one. These are referred as controllable cost. The executive can thus control the cost incurred in that particular responsibility. Maybe the cost incurred for interns, the cost incurred for providing internship. Okay. So what happens? It is a controllable cost. If they wanted to reduce it, they will give less internships. So they need to pay less stipend. So it can be controllable, isn't it? Some of the things are like uncontrollable costs. Costs which cannot be influenced by action of a specified member of an undertaking. Okay. We cannot stop those costs. Okay. So that is the thing like uncontrollable costs. Okay. Uncontrollable cost. Expenditure incurred by the tool room is controllable by the foreman. Okay. But the share of the tool room expenditure which is appointed to a machine shop is not controlled by the machine shop foreman. Okay. Which will be like in the other hands. Those are the uncontrollable costs. Okay. Then based on the normality, whether they are normal cost or abnormal cost. Okay, based on the normal cost and abnormal cost. Once you have different set of costs of various products under in your hand, you can consider which one is normal cost and which one is abnormal cost. Based on the profit and loss account statement, it can be considered and evaluated. If the cost which is the normally incurred at a given level, if it is okay, then it is a normal cost. If it is too much or too low, that means the abnormal cost. As per the norms, if it is too high or too low, accordingly it can be classified as normal cost and abnormal cost. Then there are various other cost scenarios which can be classified, like the product cost, period cost, and then we will see each one slightly. Okay. So the product costs are like the cost of raw materials, direct wages, depreciation on plant, equipment, etc. or can be referred as the product cost. And period cost is over the period it will be there, like the general administration cost, salesmanship salaries and commission which will be given, and depreciation on office facilities, etc. will comes under the period cost. Then decision making cost. These are the special purpose costs that are applicable only in the situation in which they are compiled. Okay, by taking this specific decision, it is going to cost the industries. So sometimes we cannot predict, as like one of the example would be a dollar hedging. Okay, dollar hedging. So in terms of the international markets, when you are exporting or importing, whatever the price of Indian rupee versus dollar today may not be same as tomorrow. Okay. So, but we need to give order today. What happens? Maybe after 3 months, whatever the rate, we need to accept. Okay. If you do not want to risk in that case, what you can do? You can hedge the dollar as per today's bank rate, so that the bank will pay only as per today's rate. Even though if it increases also, it will pay. Even if it decreases also, it will pay as per today's rate only. That is referred as dollar hedging. This is one of the decision making costs. Okay. Then accounting costs are in order to run or in order to hire the chartered accountants and in order to maintain all the accounts and the expenses which are going to be incurred are referred as accounting costs. Then relevant and irrelevant costs. Relevant costs are those costs which would be changed by the managerial decisions, while irrelevant costs are those which would not be affected by the decision. Okay, like uncontrollable costs are nothing but the irrelevant costs. If a manufacturer, many of the examples are there. I hope you understood this point. Then the shutdown cost. If a manufacturer closes its operation or the facility, how much cost is going to be incurred? Such cost of idle plants. Maybe nowadays also there are many manufacturing units which are closed down. So what happens? All the costs which are incurred are nothing but the shutdown cost. Okay. Then sunk cost. So maybe the management has taken a decision and purchased a plant and machinery. Later on, they dissolved that machine, or they understood that it is no longer going to be useful. So whatever the cost which are incurred is nothing but the sunk cost. And avoidable and unavoidable cost, which can be eliminated, those are avoidable costs. Unavoidable cost means which we cannot avoid. Okay. Then imputed or hypothetical cost. So like while preparing the project costs and all, the salary given for managing director, something like that, it will be given. Okay, which is not being actually given, but it is a hypothetical value or the cost. This is referred as imputed or hypothetical cost. Sometimes in new project proposals and all, we need to consider. Okay, so yeah, actually it may not happen, but what happens if it happens? So in order for the risk game and all, some additional cost will be incurred. So those are referred as a imputed or hypothetical costs. And the differential cost. Say we are doing it one process. If you are changing this process into another one, whatever the difference which is going to be incurred are nothing but the differential cost. Then out-of-pocket cost means in order to replace certain, say we have purchased our own machinery, but still we wanted to give the orders to outsourcing. So what happens, whatever the machinery we have, even though we are not using, in order to keep it in running and fine-tuning and maintenance charges, we need to make it, isn't it? So these are out-of-pocket expenses, which cannot be segregated, or which will happen sometimes, which we cannot avoid. Those are the out-of-pocket expenses. Then the opportunity cost, like the building cost and all. Sometimes if we grab that building, maybe the real estate may get boomed and the cost may increase. So that will be like an opportunity cost. Then traceable and untraceable costs. So overhead, as like we have discussed, the direct and indirect material, labor and other expenses where we can trace it, then these are traceable and untraceable costs. Then joint cost. Joint cost means sometimes as like in the ginning industries. So what happens, the seeds also will be produced and lint also will be produced. So we need to consider the seeds. By selling the seeds also we will get the money, right? So those are like the joint cost. Okay, the cost of ginning is the joint cost. One is from the lint, for how much we are getting a profit, and accordingly the seeds also which are sold as like the byproduct or the main product itself. So those are the joint costs. And the common cost like rent, lighting, supervision cost, and these are the common costs. I hope we are going through many different types of costs, of course, but mainly majorly these are material cost, labor cost, and then various other expenses. Out of this, again, direct and indirect. So we have seen very different types of costs in this session. I hope we learned something very new today, and this is going to be very much useful for you in your career. Okay, so thank you for patient listening, and stay safe. Thank you.